Hey boys and girls, we're back. This time in this video, we are going to be writing some sentences using our sight words. Now before we did a labeling activity and you were able to copy Miss Godwin and learn how to label the different parts of the apple. Do you remember? This time you're going to be using your sight words to write sentences. And Miss Godwin has uh, made a word bank for you. And all of these words came from your first four sight word lists, your ball words. Have you been studying your sight words while you've been out of school? I hope so. Use this time to practice and to get those words to where you know them just like that. Because if you know those words when you are looking inside of a book, then you don't have to think about it. It just comes naturally, and you don't have to work as hard when you're reading. Okay? So I want you to be practicing using index cards, or you can write them using shaving cream in the bathtub. You can put some shaving cream on the side of the bathtub and you can write your words using your fingers. If you have Play Doh, you can use your Play Doh and try to make the words out of Play Doh. I'll show you how to do that in another video. How's that? But there's lots of ideas on my web page. So if your parents can go to my web page and look up my page using the school website, and there's a resource tab. You are going to go under the resource, classroom resources, and there are ideas. There's probably over 100 ideas on how to practice your sight words and have fun while you're doing it. So you do that for Miss Godwin, okay? All right, so let's review these though. I'm gonna see if you can read them for me. All right, I'm gonna give you a moment and then I'm gonna tell you what the word is. So you see if you got it right. Are you ready? What's this word? A, I, red, C, tree, the, like, we, big, yellow, is, boy, apple, little, green, want, it, girl. Good job. Good job. If you didn't know all of them, that's okay. Just keep practicing. All right. Now, when we write, we are putting our thoughts down on paper for people to be able to read. So we can be thinking about something and write it, and people will know what we were thinking. We don't even have to speak it. That's the cool thing about writing. And writing is really important because if we didn't write our thoughts down on paper, we wouldn't have books, we wouldn't have magazines and newspapers, and that would just be really sad, wouldn't it? I love to read, so I'm thankful for people putting their thoughts down on paper. Maybe you'll be an author one day. Maybe you'll write a book, and Miss Godwin can read your book one day. I hope so. That would be so cool. Maybe at the end of the year, by the end of the year, we'll be so good that we can all write a book. That would be neat. Let's make that a goal. Let's try to shoot for everybody writing a book by the end of the year. That'll be sweet. All right, so I'm moving over to a blank piece of paper and I'm going to do two sentences for you just to show you how I can put my thoughts down on paper. Okay? All right, so I'm looking at my words. Let's see. I am going to write I see a big apple. All right, so that's my thought. I see a big apple. All right, let's see if we can write it now. Right here. So I'm always going to start on the left-hand side of my paper because we read from left to right. So when we are writing, we also want to write from left to right because that's the way people are going to be reading our sentence. So this is where we always start. I, finger space, because we don't want our words to be bunched together. I see, isn't that what we said? I see. Here's the word see. I see a, there's a, big apple. Now, my sentence is finished. How do I know that it's finished? That's right. I have to use punctuation. I'm going to put a period at the end so everybody knows that my thought is finished. All right? I see a big apple. It's always great to read your sentence back to make sure that it makes sense. If you forgot a word, it wouldn't sound right. And you would say, that didn't sound right when you reread it. And then you could go back and you could fix it and make it sound right. But we made it right. We made it sound right the first time. I see a big apple. Now, I think I want to put down my thought. My next thought is going to be, I like red apples. Okay, so I'm going to write, I like red apples. All right, so I'm going to start with a capital letter. Like. There's the word like. Finger space, red. Apples. Well, there's the word apple, not apples. So I'm going to write apple, and then I'm going to fix it. Remember when we did the labeling activity and I showed you the word seeds and I covered up the S and I made it just the word seed? And I told you that if it was just one seed, it would just be S-E-E-D. But because there was more than one seed, I had to add an S because that made it plural. That means more than one. So because I said I like red apples, that means I like lots of apples. So I need to add an S to the end of apple to make it plural or more than one. I like red apples. So I just added that S sound to the end. And I'm excited about liking apples. I like apples. So instead of just putting a period, I'm going to show excitement by adding an exclamation point instead. So an exclamation point is a period with a line above it, just like that. I like red apples. That makes me excited. So let's read our two sentences together. I see a big apple. I like red apples. Now you think of another sentence to go with Miss Godwin's sentence. It could be anything. It can be about you seeing an apple tree. It could be about you being a boy that likes apples. It could be a girl liking apples. All of those words are up there. You just think about a sentence that you would like to put down, a thought that you have that you would like to add to Miss Godwin's. Now, If there's a word you want to use when you're writing and that word isn't up here, use it. You can do it. Use your sounds and just sound out the word. Write the sounds you hear. If it's not spelled exactly right, that's okay because you're going to be using what we call inventive spelling, and that's okay in the beginning when you are learning how to write and how to read. All right, so no worries. Use your sounds to write words that you don't have in the sight word bank. All right, I cannot wait to see what you do. Ms. Godwin is going to leave the sight word bank up, and I'm going to pause the video, and that way your parents can let you use this to help you do your writing. Good luck and do your best. Mwah. Here we go. Make it closer. All right. Do a great job.